Det finns två saker. Vi hatar när folk fuskar, men vi älskar också när folk som fuskar blir påkomna. Så idag ska vi ta och kolla på när de blir påkomna i NHL. Och hur fuskar man i NHL egentligen? Och det är en sån här video när han pratar. Kommer fortfarande vara bra. Då får vi mer kontext. Ska höja. Oj, är det Winter Classic? Så pucken ska glida in långsammare. Vi har ju en tydlig grej som var nu senast i Sverige. När den här målvakten då tar sönder isen. Ni vet exakt vad jag menar. Men han tar sönder isen så att de inte kan spela på den, så att matchen blir förskjuten, så att de sen kan spela på resultat. Sjuk. Men det är ändå kreativt. De får ändå det för att de är kreativa.
But it's all fun and games until there's something on the line. And in 2019,
Marchand.
Columbus Blue Jackets and Boston despised each other because the only thing standing in their way in the next round was each other.
Oh yeah, Brad Marchand.
Brad Marchand found this out. He was about to take things way out of proportion because the first 3 periods came and went, and neither team emerged on top. So when overtime rolled around, Marchand knew he needed to take some risks. Pay close attention to the left side.
Nej, det var det vi såg i början. Hans skena lär ju nästan bli fuckad också.
Did you catch what happened? These guys were doing a face-off, and Bro thought he could step on another man's stick blade. And if there's one unspoken rule, it's never mess with another man's stick blade. But here's the crazy part. Marchand almost got away with it too, except the play was whistled dead once Bruins center Patrice Bergeron was thrown out of the face-off. But after the game, the last thing this bro was going to give was an apology.
I'm sorry,
that wasn't going to stop Atkinson from clapping back.
You broke my stick. Yeah, right. I'm going to say you owe me a new stick and your money. But I'm not gonna go out there and run around.
Take a check or PayPal, or how do you get that?
Venmo? Cash. Straight cash.
Nej, kul grej.
But I guarantee you Marchand isn't gonna pay for any of it. Although
Nej,
it's one thing to break another man's stick, it's another to break your own stick. See, Jason Spezza thought he was slick, but maybe he wasn't as slick as he thought. Because in a 2009 game featuring the Ottawa Senators and the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Leafs were in desperation mode. Down 1 goal with only a minute to go, their coach knew they needed a miracle. But that's when he noticed something big. As he looked onto the ice, he remembered something fishy about Jason Spezza. See, there's a rule that forces hockey sticks to have a specific curve and thickness, and Spezza has a history of trying to adjust his sticks.
And Jason, anything specific that you do to your sticks?
Well, I shave them down. I usually like to retape them before every game and kind of, rebrand them. I like to know what games I used them in and stuff, and that's usually what I do before games.
And bro would have been better off saying nothing at all, because he never would have guessed that
Behöver du ha för mycket vinkel eller?
would have come back to bite him in the butt. Because it turns out that the Leafs coach used this information to snitch on him in the game's biggest moment. Only the joke was on him, because Spezza saw it coming from a mile away.
And look what he does just before the draw here. He's looking, he sees it, he knows he's in trouble.
Nej, nej. Jag misstänker att det är för klubban inte var vinklad för mycket. Jag antar det. Annars är det svårt att veta vad det är för någonting. Om ni vet det, skriv i kommentaren. Men det bör ju vara för att den inte får vara vinklad tillräckligt mycket. Man tar alltså sönder klubban när han ska inspektera den. Då är den inte valid längre. Det är fult.
Broke his own stick just to save his back. But unfortunately, it was too little too late. The refs were still able to measure his stick and caught the bro slacking.
Nej, okej. Var det
your penalty at the worst possible moment.
Ottawa penalty, number 19, Jason Spezza, 2 minutes for having an illegal stick.
But in the end, the Leafs weren't able to capitalize, and the Senators went on to win 2-1.
Okej, de vann ändå.
Win so badly that you don't know how to stop cheating. That's exactly what Matt
Marchand, alltså jag älskar honom. Att han är en jävla råtta, Marchand. Han knuffar, ja. Det där måste vara ganska vanligt. Trycker verkligen bort målet. Det var flera gånger.
It's not a coincidence that his net keeps moving. There's a rule where goaltenders can intentionally dislodge their net from its mooring. And I'm not exactly sure I trust this.
Det var svår regel liksom. När är det med flit och när är det inte det?
And cameras even caught this man messing with a net mid-play.
Purpose, so net comes off, he wants to try to get back on.
That play's going on at this point. He's kind of looking, but sometimes he's not looking. He's got his stick tucked up.
Men vad händer? Kan han väl sluta?
Nah, that's outrageous. Not because this man cheated, because players try that all the time, but because this man got away scot-free. At the minimum,
men det jag menar, regeln är ju för luddig.
Which is ironic, because for our next moment, one player gets penalized for a penalty he didn't commit. See this player. This is Daniel
Sedin. Vad gjorde han då?
93 goals and 648 assists make him the Canucks' second highest point scorer of
all time. Så jävla poängkung alltså.
First, if it weren't for his identical brother, Henrik Sedin. Combined, these brothers have dominated the NHL for 17 years. But they've also been confusing the NHL for almost 20 years. Because these players look so similar,
så de råkar ta ut fel.
Who is who. And in 2014, the officials meant to send Daniel to the penalty box for hooking. But instead, this happened.
Istället tar de Henrik.
Sends it down in deep and a penalty coming up here. It's against Daniel Sedin. He's going to get a hold or something.
Så Daniel Sedin. Men det är Henrik som utvisar.
Seems to me, Bob, because of the way things have gone here.
Imagine owing up to a mistake your brother made. That's what you call a real one. And I would call Austin Watson a real one, except Bro's toxic.
Nej, vad gör
His
han?
team was losing 5-1 as time was about to expire. But rather than taking the L like a man, Bro was out to make his opponent's life pure hell.
Nej, vadå gick han ut och tacklades då? Matchen ska ju ta slut nu. Slagskott på honom. Det där är så jävla osportsligt. Och att han träffar honom.
One man's poor temper could have costed an innocent man his season. What if I told you that another player once got a fine for something not even the officials caught? Because Sean Avery was just minding his business when his opponent shoved him from behind. And you'd think his opponent would be in trouble, but he's not the one who received the fine. Because in the NHL, diving is a fine's best friend.
Ja, så han fick för att han filmade. Aj. Jag tänkte säga, okej, hur ska de... Vad är det som är fel här? Och filmar han?
So Bro complained he shouldn't have been fined at all. That's when he lashed out, going as far to say, how can a guy sitting in an office in New York determine if you dived or not by watching a tape? They don't know if you had a bad ankle or Tom burst a sack or something. And now, I'm pretty sure Avery didn't have an injury, but I feel he's low-key got a point. But here's the thing. 3 years later, I saw him do it again.
Samma sak igen 3 år senare. Den där var skituppenbar.
You did me dirty.
Aj.
At least this fine didn't alter the outcome of the game.
Kan inte ni skriva i kommentarerna, för jag vet att ni har koll. Finns det någon, vi hade ju någon svensk Shinnin eller i svenska ligan som är känd för att filma. Finns det någon i USA som är aktiv just nu som liksom är känd för att filma? Är det någon som alla är så här att han filmar igen liksom? Det lär ju finnas. 2019 då?
Stars and the Vancouver Canucks were stuck in a stalemate, which meant one thing. It was time for a penalty
straffar.
And at first, everyone was
hur fan fuskar man här då?
They started out red hot, pulling up ahead with a 2-0 lead. But once Elias Peterson took his penalty shot, fans quickly realized they were rooting for cheaters.
Va, hur då? Han kastar klubban för man gör det. Han får inte kasta klubban.
Nah, this man made a last-ditch effort to secure the dub, and it somehow paid off. Because Stars goaltender Anton Hudobin clearly threw his stick when he shouldn't have. And by NHL rules, if a goaltender throws a stick, a goal is awarded to the shooter. But since the officials couldn't blatantly tell if it was intentional...
Nej, sluta!
Which is unfortunate, because the Canucks ended up winning the shootout 3-2. And this one call single-handedly determined the difference between winning and losing.
Fy fan.
We gotta address one of the biggest cheaters in all of the NHL.
Okej, en av de största fuskarna enligt honom då, som gör den här videon. Cory Perry.
Now normally it would make sense to get a new stick from the bench, but no, not Cory Perry, because he decided that would be too much work. So instead, he cheated in plain sight.
Getting ready to come on. Technically, I think he's in the field of play here. Oh, you see some intent there from the Anaheim player.
Men va?
No, it wasn't.
Dang, my man is a smooth criminal. He took that hockey stick with
Man hade ju en klubb också.
It would have been more funny if history didn't repeat itself. Only this time, it wasn't so easy.
Oj. Han tappade klubban och där tar han. Där tar han ju faktiskt motståndarens klubba. Nu när han blev av med den. Ja, det är klart att Morrissey inte vill släppa den där.
Man, this dude's out here playing
Jävlar vad snygga tröjor Tampa Bay hade.
player I like to watch. But here's the deal. When you mess with others, sooner or later, it's gonna backfire. Because one time Cory Perry lost his hockey stick in the
Men hur många gånger har det hänt egentligen? Han tar inte upp klubban. Hans klubba är där. Håller på att slå dem liksom.
Chuck did him dirty by shoving it further down the bench. Bro knew what needed to be done. Yet with only a moment to go, you won't believe how one penalty cost a team the Stanley Cup.
Nej.
First, we've got an honorable mention because it was
Honorable mention.
that Trevor Zegras provided fans with one of the funniest moments of the 2022-23 NHL season. During the second period of a match between the Anaheim Ducks and the Dallas Stars, Zegras received a penalty that would have made Cory Perry proud.
On the year leads all blue liners for Dallas. This pit is deflected over top
Oj.
of the net as the Stars keep the pressure on now in the dying seconds of the period.
Så han tar... Snälla gör mål, snälla gör mål.
My man accidentally broke his stick and tried to
Nej, han råkade ta sönder sin egna och sen tar han den andra.
Because Yoel Kiviranta wasn't having any of it. And when he saw that another stole his stick, he was a little brother complaining to his mom about his older brother. Mom, Trevor stole my stick!
Ja, verkligen så.
Bro ratted Trevor out. The refs had to do their job. Only Trevor wasn't trying to get penalized, so he threw his hands up in the air. Like, come on, man. We know what you did. I mean, the refs knew this man was full of BS. Because the stick even had Kiviranta's name on it. So after the game, fans needed to know.
Han måste säga liksom att såhär, jag visste inte att det inte var min. Liksom.
I guess, and the only thing I could remember was Bobby Ryan scoring with a right-handed stick, and that's the first thing that came to mind when I broke mine was I'm gonna steal this guy's stick.
Ja, okej, han visste det.
And they teed me up pretty quickly, so I tried to claim that I found it on the ice, which nobody was buying.
Yeah, buddy.
Han är ärlig i alla fall. Han är ärlig.
But I'm not so sure our next player was so forthcoming after he cheated on the game's biggest stage. See, it was the 1993 NHL Finals.
Finalerna.
Montreal Canadiens versus the Los Angeles Kings. And Los Angeles was feeling good about their chances when they took the first game of the series. And it looked like Los Angeles was poised to take game 2 as well. They were up 2-1 with less than 2 minutes left in the game. But desperate times call for desperate measures. And the Canadiens weren't going to just sit there and stare down a 2-0 hole. Lucky for them,
Vad händer då?
because before the game, a few people noticed that the Kings' Marty McSorley was using a blade with a sharp curve. A little too
Okej, men där är den jag pratar om, att den är för
So when the
böjd.
Canadian center went over to his coach to tell him that McSorley's blade might be too sharp, they both knew that this was their best chance of winning.
A stick measurement has been called.
Okej, hur dömer de då? Men alltså...
Montreal challenged the curve on Marty McSorley's stick.
It's a 2-minute penalty to LA if it's illegal, and it's a 2-minute penalty to Montreal if it's fair. And McSorley is crushed.
Ska det vara så där rakt?
This man got caught in 4K during the biggest moment of his career. But not even he realized how costly this mistake was at the time. Because this mistake gave the Canucks a free power play and a chance
Och nej, säg inte att de gör mål på det också.
The unthinkable happened.
Jo, de gör fan mål.
The Canucks just made a
Ja.
ballsy call. And
Smart,
that turned
bra.
it into a ballsy goal. And now that the score was tied 2-2, fans knew this game was over. Heck, even the opposing coach knew it was over.
Vilken jävla frilla.
My life because it influenced the rest of my life. They went over to the penalty box. Luke Robitaille went over from our team. Luke came over to the bench to talk to me, and I said, "Luke, is it over?" And he started laughing. So right then I knew that it was over. It was a crazy night and a night I'll always remember.
In other words, the Canucks wound up winning game 2
Oj,
in
gjorde han
overtime
tunnel?
to tie up the series.
Nej, så Canucks gick och faktiskt blev
Trying to
mästare
tie up
det
the
året.
series, because this single penalty changed the outcome of the whole
Kings hade haft
series.
2-0 i
Because
matchen
once
om
the
den här
Canucks
inte
won the
blivit
game,
mål i
there
powerplayet.
was no looking back. And just a few games later, they were world champs. This goes to show that the more you play with fire, the better chance you have of getting burnt.
Oj, vad är det här? En legender som hatar varandra. Fan. Intressant jäkla video. Kul att se. Jag vet inte vad det värsta var, men det var mycket med klubborna. Det är jäkligt kul faktiskt. Jag hoppas ni tyckte det var kul att se en NHL-video. Jag väntar på att någon ska göra en video kring SHL, för det är slutspel, det är saker som händer hela tiden. Så boxplay och hockey-events. Jag hoppas att ni gör videos, för att Det vill jag, och jag vet att tittarna vill se det också. Men tack för att du kollade på videon. Vi syns imorgon igen med en till ny återrolig video.